I'm Heidi Flutterjohn, and I am a movement psychotherapist, so I'm a body person and I'm a listener by trade. So speaking a story, I'm much more interested in listening. So I've really been indulging in sitting, and now I have to be over here. So I want to start by saying that I'm a Hoosier by birth and by choice. So, woo! I left this place and came back. So if you're a Hoosier, raise your hand. Okay, if you're a Hoosier by birth, raise your hand. Okay, if you're a Hoosier by choice, raise your hand.
I came back.
You came back? All right, okay. All right, so there are a lot of Hoosiers by birth here, and you may not know this, this phrase, summit fever. Has anybody heard summit fever? Okay, so it's because we're flatlanders. This phrase. I have a sister who has summit fever. She lived for a long time in the mountains of Colorado, where the mountains are 14,000 feet high. And amongst her, the crazy people who live in the mountains are those who have summit fever. And these people are determined to get to the top of the mountain. It doesn't matter what it costs. It doesn't matter what it takes. They're going to get to as many tops of 14ers as they can. Okay, I do not have summit fever. But I love my sister. And she says, let's go. I'm doing the 14ers. Let's go up a 14er. And I'm coming from Washington, D.C. on this trip, so I am, right at sea level. I go out to Boulder to meet her, and we go out climbing, and she is just so determined. She can see the peak, and we're going, and I am walking along looking at the ground. Oh, look at those beautiful little white flowers. Oh, doesn't it feel good to just stop and breathe? And she's goal in mind, right? Well, I never got to the top. I stopped where I could see the top and went down to the little flowers. She dropped up, she got up to the top of the summit and came back. So I think there are different kinds of people. And for me, this has to do with resolutions because I don't believe in New Year's resolutions. My sister does, and one year she decided that she was going to give up for the year her shyness of being photographed. So for an entire year, anytime anyone asked her to be photographed, she's like, oh yeah! We called her Pollyanna for a while. So she now actually can be photographed and it doesn't bother her. Okay, I do not make resolutions. So when Ellen asked me to speak about resolutions, I completely freaked out. Like, I don't make resolutions. I'm basically a hedonist. I'm not sure what to do. So I went to my first source of defense, and that is my local coffee shop. It's New Year's morning, and I say to people who I don't know, hey, do you believe in New Year's resolutions? Did you make them? And I want to tell you what I heard. I quit smoking. I have to work out at least once a week. Jeremy, her boyfriend, sitting next to her. Oh, Jeremy's resolution. He said he doesn't make resolutions, but this is his year to get engaged. And Jeremy is like in total shock about this. Let's see. Oh, I give them up for Lent every year. How can you improve on perfection? This is why I don't have New Year's resolutions. I got nothing. I got nothing. That's kind of where I'm at. And then for the rated R audience, let's see, what did he say? My resolution is to keep my 36-year streak of not having sex with yous. Okay. Good for you! I've done it my whole life. I'm like, wow, that's weird. So, this didn't really help me much. And I went to my second source, And even though I'm a movement person, I love words. So this is the New Century Dictionary, 1942. This is only half of it. If my house were to catch on fire, I would go for my computer because it has all my photographs of my loved ones and this set of books. So I went to this book to look up the word resolution, thinking maybe it would help me. And as it turns out, it takes about a quarter of a page. And in that quarter of a page, they describe the word resolve. And this blew my mind. You guys are, I imagine this is going to blow your mind too. So resolution comes from resolve. And resolve is actually a word with two parts, and solve. And if you go back, it goes to French, Old French, and then to Latin. And in Latin, means again. And solve comes from solvere with an E, and I don't know how you pronounce it. And it means to loosen, melt, or lay open. Resolve means to melt again, to go back to loosen, to soften. Wow. Now that I can get behind. That I can get behind. And I started thinking about that and how, for me, resolution feels like it's hard and it's got to be, and it's for people who are in the military. But it comes from softness, and it reminded me of Julia Butterfly Hill. Does anybody know who she is? Yeah, she is the woman who went up into the tree. She went up into the old growth forest and got in a tree and said, I'm not getting down. You cannot cut these trees down. She calls it sacred activism. And I met her once, and she told the story of how a butterfly is made. So butterflies are caterpillars first, right? They crawl around all these little legs down, close to the earth, close to something to hold on to. And then they make these wonderful cocoons. And once a butterfly makes a cocoon, it has to dissolve completely before it can become a butterfly. 100% liquefaction, 100% resolve. And the last thing to go is the brain. Right? So we gotta let go. Let go. Before we can go forward, I heard it tonight. I gotta let go of that idea of myself not being good enough. I gotta let go of the idea that I can't do it. Because those are the things that stop us. Right? It's not the idea of going to the gym that stops you. Right? It's before you even get the shoes on and what goes on in our heads beforehand. So if you make a fist, everybody make a fist, and hold it tight. Nothing can get in there. It doesn't matter what change you want to make in that hand, nothing can get in there. You have to soften it first. You must soften it to make space for something new to happen. So, thank you, Ellen, for teaching me about resolve. And thank you all for hearing me.